Set my screen visible mark, students.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. Start the class. Today we are going to see about exception handling. Okay, this is an important concept in Java. First, we will see what is meant by exception. So, what is meant by exception means it is a problem that arises during the execution of the program. Okay. For example, I will tell one real-time example for exception. So, whenever we are trying to execute 1 by 0, so what will happen is we make it infinite. Okay. Similarly, whenever you are going to write a program to perform that operation, that is, whenever you are trying to do 1 by 0 by program, what will happen is you may get an exception. Okay. So what will happen is in that case your program will be terminated or it will be aborted. Okay. That type of event is called as exceptional event. Okay. So exception means it is a problem that arises during the execution of the program. So whenever an exception occurs, actually the normal flow of the program is disrupted. For example, I have written C equal to A by B. So assume that my A value is 1 and B value is 0. So what will happen is whenever we are trying to print C, so if you are using printf C statement, that statement will not be executed. Similarly in Java also, if you are using system.out.println, that statement will not be executed. Okay, what will happen is whenever an exception occurs, so your program may be aborted or it may be terminated. Depends on your exception. Your program may aborted or it may be terminated. Okay, so it will affect the normal flow of the program. Okay, as I told, the program or application terminates abnormally, which is not recommended. So these exception to be handled. Okay, C language there is no option to handle the exception, but Java, as I told in the CHS itself, I told. So the important feature of Java is it also handles the exception. So whenever there is any exception, it will be handled by exception handling mechanism. Okay, this is called as exception. So repeat, what is exception? Exception means it is a problem that arises during the execution of the program. Whenever you are executing any program, so there is a possibility of exception. Okay, so whenever an exception occurs, so what will happen is your normal flow of the program is disrupted and the program or application terminates abnormally. Okay, so we need to handle the exception. So for that, in Java, we have a exception handling mechanism is available. Okay, so these are the three reasons you may get an exception. Okay, so first reason, the user has entered an invalid data. Okay, invalid data means, for example, whenever you are trying to do 1 by 0 or that kind of operation, whenever you are trying to perform, then you may get an exception. That is one reason. And another reason, whenever you are trying to open a file that cannot be found, the file is not available, but you are trying to open a file. In that case, you may get an exception. Third one, a network connection has been lost in the middle of the communication, or the JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine, has run out of the memory. Okay, so in these three cases, you may get an exception. Okay, not only these three cases, we have some other cases also there. So I have listed these three reasons. Okay, as I told, first reason, the user has entered the invalid data. Then a file that needs to be opened, that file is not found. Then network connection has been lost in the middle of communication, or the JVM has run out of memory. So there is no space available in the memory in JVM. So in that case also you may get an exception. Now we will see about exception handling. So what is meant by exception handling? I already told what is exception, what is the reason for exception. Next one is exception handling. What is exception handling is, so it is one of the powerful mechanism to handle the runtime errors. Okay. So when you will get an exception is, you may get only during the runtime, because whenever you are trying to perform 1 by 0, there is no compile time error. Okay, so it will execute. That is, it will no compile time error will happen. So what will happen is you may get runtime error. So during the execution of the program, you may get an error. Okay, that type of error is called as runtime errors. Okay, so exception handling, it is one of the powerful mechanism to handle the runtime errors so that normal flow of the application can be maintained. By using exception handling, we are going to handle the runtime errors. So whatever runtime errors we are getting in the program, we are going to handle by using the exception handling mechanism. So as I told, exception, what is exception means? It is an event that disrupts the normal flow of the program. So normally we don't have exception means what will happen is your program will be executed one by one. Okay, so one after another it may execute a statement. In case if you are having exception, what will happen is it will disrupt the normal flow of the program. Okay, so normal flow of the program will be affected. That is called as exception. Okay, so exception, as I told, it is an event that disrupts the normal flow of the program. This is about exception hierarchy. Okay, I will tell what is meant by that. So exception, it may comes under this package java.lang. Okay, so it have a throwable class. Okay, there are two types. Okay, there are two types of exception. One is unchecked exception and other one is checked exception. Okay, so unchecked exception.
PPT is not changed, sir.
So there are two types of exception. One is unchecked and other one is a checked exception. So we may call it as unchecked exception as error. Okay, checked exception, we got two types. One is runtime exception and other one is other exception. Okay, so for error, so what type of error you may get is you may get out of memory error. Okay, out of memory means in JVM there is no space available. So in that case we may get out of memory error. Then stack overflow error. Okay, these are the two different types of errors. That is, those are called as unchecked exception. Then for checked exception, you have two types. One is a runtime exception and other one is other exception. So runtime exception means again it is comes under unchecked. Okay, null pointer exception, illegal argument exception, arithmetic exception, index out of bound exception. So those are all called as runtime exception. So other exception, we may have class not found exception. Okay, suppose you are creating class. So with the class name, some assume that you are creating a class name by. Okay, but you are saving as a different file name. So in that case, what will happen is class not found exception will generate. Similarly, IO exception, then file not found exception, SQL exception, no such method exception. Okay, so we will see one by one. All the exception I will tell example. Okay, so this is about the exception hierarchy. Next one we will see the types. Okay, so as I told, we got three types. Okay, one is checked exception. Second one is unchecked exception. Third one is error. Okay, these are the three types of Java exception. First one is a checked exception. Okay, second one is unchecked, and third one is error. Okay, we will see in detail about all the three exception. As I told, what are the three types is? One is a checked exception, second one unchecked, and third one is error. This is about the diagrammatic way of exception. As I told, there are three exceptions: checked, then unchecked, then third one is error. We will see in detail about all the three types. First one, checked exception. What is checked exception means? Classes which directly inherit throwable class, okay, except runtime exception and error are known as checked exception. Okay, so what we can do is in your class itself we can directly inherit the throwable class. So I will tell what is meant by throws, those keywords in the later part. Okay, so this is checked exception. What is checked exception here is the classes which directly inherit throwable class. So you know the what is meant by inheritance. So inheritance means inheriting from the parent class. Okay, here from the classes which directly inherit from the throwable class, except the runtime exception and error are known as checked exception. So example for the checked exceptions are IO exception, then SQL exception. Okay, so these exceptions are checked at the compile time itself. Okay, there are two types of error you may get. One is a compile time error and other one is a runtime error. So what is compile time error is whenever you are executing a program, if there is any syntax error or semantic error is there means it will be displayed during the compile time itself. But some errors, sometimes your syntax and semantic may be right, but you may have some runtime errors. For example, whenever you are trying to execute 1 by 0, in that case you may get runtime error. Okay, so those kind of errors are called as runtime errors. Okay, here for checked exception. Okay, so this will be checked during the compile time itself. This is called as checked exception. Then we may have unchecked exception. So what is meant by unchecked exception is the classes which inherit runtime exception are known as unchecked exception. Okay. So previously I am throwing inherited throwable class. Okay. So here for unchecked exception, classes which inherit runtime exception are known as unchecked exception. Example here is arithmetic exception. So arithmetic exception means whenever you are trying to perform 1 by 0, that is called as arithmetic exception. Then null pointer exception, then array index out of bound exception. So array index out of bound means suppose your array size is only 5. Suppose when you are trying to access you have 6 means then you may get array index out of bound exception. Okay. These are called as unchecked exception. Okay. So as I told, for checked exception, it inherits throwable class except runtime exception and error are known as unchecked exception. And for unchecked exception, it inherits the classes which inherit runtime exception are known as unchecked exceptions. Okay, example here is arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, and array index out of bound exception. Okay. So as I told, unchecked exceptions are not checked during the compile time; they are checked only during the runtime. Okay. So for previous exception, that is checked exception, it may be checked during the compile time. But for unchecked exception, it may be checked only during the runtime. Not checked at the compile time, that they are checked at the runtime. Those type of exceptions are called as unchecked exception. Now we will see the keywords. Okay, what are the different keywords we are used in Java? So these are the keywords. Okay, first one try. Second one catch, third one throw, fourth one throws, and fifth one is final. Okay, these are the 5 keywords we are using for handling the exception. Okay, try, all 5 are keywords. Try block, try, then catch, throw, throws, and final. Okay, we will see in detail about all the keywords. Then we will go for the example program. Okay, so far anybody having doubts? Any doubts, Mark, so far? All of you understand what is exception and what is exception handling?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll move to the keywords. So first one, I will go for try keyword. Okay. So try block, actually we may call it as a try block. So the Java try block, actually what is the purpose of Java try block is it is used to enclose the code that might throw an exception. Okay. So whatever the code you want to check the exception, that code you have to put inside the try block. Okay. The Java try block is used to enclose the code that might throw an exception. For example, assume that I am assigning a equal to 1 and b equal to 0. Assume that a equal to 1 and b equal to 0, then c equal to a divided by b. So in that case, what may happen is we may get an exception. So c equal to a divided by b. So what is my a value is 1 and what is my b value is 0. So 1 by 0 you may get an infinite. Okay. So in that case, you can predict that this code will generate an exception. Okay. What you have to do is you have to enclose the code within that try block. Okay. Whichever code you might assume that they may generate an exception, that kind of code you can put it inside that try block. Okay. So Java try block is used to enclose the code that might throw an exception. Okay. So it must be within the method. Okay, where we have to include the try block is it must be used within the method. Okay, whichever method you are using, within the method you have to write the try block. Then if an exception occurs actually, okay, if an exception occurs at the particular statement of the try block, then rest of the block code will not execute. Okay, assume that I am writing A equal to 1, B equal to 0, C equal to A divided by B. So in that case, what may get is you may get an exception. Assume that I have written after the C, I am printing the statement system.out.println. I am printing the C value. Assume that I have written that statement. What will happen is that code will not be will not execute. So once an exception occurs, okay, so the rest of the block code will not execute if exception occurs. Okay, that is the meaning. If an exception occurs at the particular statement of the try block, then rest of the block will not execute. I will show an example. So here assume that my A value equal to 1, then B equal to 0, then C equal to A by B. Can anyone say what will happen here? Anyone can say what will happen here? Here I am assigning A value is 1 and B value is 0. So what will be the C value? What will be the C value? Actually what is 1 by 0?
Infinity.
Infinite. Okay, 1 by 0 is infinite. Okay, so what will happen is here you may get an exception here. Okay, so exception means it may terminate the program. Suppose if you are not handling an exception, what will happen is your program will be terminated abnormally. Okay, so normally once you execute the program, if you have any errors, means you are after clearing your error, you may get an output, then you can properly exit the program. Okay, in this case, what will happen is I am assigning A value is 1 and B value is 0. Then I am including C equal to A by B. In case if I am using any statement after this C equal to A divided by B, what will happen is that statement will not be executed. Okay, so this is an example for the try block. Okay, so I'll repeat again. The Java try block, it is used to enclose the code that might throw an exception. Here, in this case, you may know that this code will generate an exception, that is C equal to A by B. Okay, so what we need to do is you have to use these statements inside the try block. Okay, so if an exception occurs at the particular statement of the try block, then rest of the block code will not execute. After this statement, suppose if we have included 2-3 statement means then that statements will not be executed. Okay, then the try block actually must be followed by either a catch or finally block. Okay, so we got 4 more keywords, that is try, catch, throw, throws, and finally. Okay, once you are writing the try block, after the try block, either you can write the catch block or you can write the finally block. Okay, so either one block you must compulsorily write. Okay, without catch block, your try block will not execute. Okay, so Java try block must be followed by either a catch block or a finally block. Okay, again here keywords, these are all keywords. This catch is keyword, again finally is also keyword. So here what I am using is, here I am using a try. So try is again a keyword. So how many keywords I have used in this slide is, one is a try, second one is a catch, and the third one is a final. So these are the 3 keywords. Okay, so here in this case you may get an exception. After this statement, if you have any statement is available, means that statements will not execute. Okay, understand, ma? So move to the next one. So next one, this is a syntax for the try catch block. Okay, so the try block, as I told you, it must be followed by either catch block or finally block. Okay, for try block, first one. Okay, here what kind of code you have to write is here T is small letter only. The code that may throw an exception, whichever code you may assume that that code may throw an exception. That kind of code you can put it in the try block. Try, then curly braces. Okay. Then followed by catch block. Okay. So in the catch block, what we got to mention is catch. Again, it is a keyword. So what is catch here is catch is a keyword. Then followed by exception name. It may be any one of the exception name. I have already listed some example for exception, that is arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, then array index out of bound exception. So like that, we have lot of exceptions are available. Okay, here you have to write the exception class name. Suppose if you are writing c equal to 1 divided by 0, in that case, what is this exception is? This exception is a arithmetic exception, because whenever we are trying to perform the arithmetic operation, we are getting the exception. So what type of exception it is? It is a arithmetic exception. So here the exception class name, what you have to mention is, you can write it as arithmetic exception, then followed by reference. Here you can write any object name, for example E, ABC, like that. Whatever reference name you want to write, you can write it here. Okay, that is your optional name. Whatever name you want to write, you can write it. Okay, but exception class name you have to correctly mention. Then only it will handle the exception properly. Okay, if it is an arithmetic exception, here you have to mention the arithmetic exception as a class name. Similarly, if it is an array index out of bound exception means, then you have to mention it as array index out of bound exception. So whatever exception the program generates, only that exception name you got to mention. Okay. This is your try catch block. Okay. Then followed by the next block is, we have a finally block. Okay. So again, similar syntax is similar. Try, then finally block. So try again, whatever the code that may throw an exception, you can put it inside the try block. Okay. So T is small letter, then followed by finally. So this is your try block, and we got finally block. Okay, previously I have put a catch block, and here I have included the finally block. So either you can include the catch block, or either you can include the finally block. I will tell the uses of the difference between catch block and finally block in the examples. Okay. Actually, this is your catch block. So what is catch block here is, the Java catch block, it is used to handle the exception, okay, by declaring the type of exception within the parameter, as I told. So what we are going to write is catch followed by bracket, then what exception type, what type of exception it is, whether it is an arithmetic exception or null pointer exception or some other exception. So in Java there is a lot of exceptions are available. So whatever exception the program generates, that exception type you got to mention inside the catch block, followed by the parameter, that object name you got to mention, that reference name. Okay. The declared exception must be the parent class exception, that is exception or the generated exception type. Okay. So the declared exception here, whatever exception type you are mentioning, so that exception already available exception. Okay. The catch block must be used after the try block only. Okay. So like switch case. So we already used the switch case. So what we do in switch case is switch, then expression we are evaluating. After evaluating the expression, it will come to the case block. Similarly, here also, initially you have a try block followed by the catch block. Okay, so you should not use the catch block before the try block. Only you should use the catch block after the try block. So the catch block must be used after the try block only. Okay, this is called as catch block. Okay, so you can use the multiple catch block within a single try block. Okay, same program, it can generate arithmetic exception, or it can generate null pointer exception, or it can generate array index out of bound exception. The same program that may generate more than one exception. So for every exception, you can write the catch block for handling that exception. So as I told, what you can do is, you can use the multiple catch block with a single try block. So the try block followed by multiple catch blocks. Now we will see one example program. Okay. assume that this is a first example for exception handling. So here my class name. What is my class name here?
Java exception.
Java exception example.
Java exception example.
This is my main function. Then after the curly braces, this brace, what I did is I am writing the try block. Okay, this is your try block. Okay, then followed by here. What code I am going to include here is the code that may raise exception. Whichever code you assume that it may generate an exception or it may raise exception, that type of code you have to include within the try block. Okay, so here what I did is I am performing the arithmetic exception here, integer. So here I am using one variable. What is my variable name is data. So data equal to 100 divided by 0. Okay, this is 100 and 0. 100 divided by 0. Whenever I am trying to perform 100 by 0, what type of exception it is?
Arithmetic exception.
Arithmetic exception. Okay, so this is a code that generate exception. Okay, now what will happen is if you have included any statement after this data equal to 100 by 0, that statement will not be executed. Okay, then followed by what I did is I am writing the catch block. So what I did is then try block. Then I am writing the catch block here. So catch. So again, here catch is your keyword. Okay, remember. So what are the keywords here is try. So try is a keyword. Again, catch is a keyword. This is your exception type. Okay, arithmetic exception. What type of exception I am using is arithmetic exception. Then followed by reference name. Object name I am writing as E. Then what I did is I am printing. Okay, system.out.println E. Okay, and printing the object name, then rest code of the program. This will be the rest of the code. Okay, what will be the output is here actually the program will not terminate abnormally. Okay, suppose if you have not included this try block and catch block, your program will be terminated abnormally. Okay, but here what I did is I have included the exception handling. Okay, so what is exception handling here is, what is the exception it is generating here is, this is an exception. Which statement it generate is here. This is the statement that generates a exception. Okay, so integer data equal to 100 divided by 0. What type of exception it is it is a arithmetic exception. Whenever I am trying to perform 1 by 0, what you will get is you may get infinite. Okay, data equal to 100 by 0. Then what I did is I am coming to the catch block. So catch, then arithmetic exception is your exception type. Then this is your object. Object name is E. Then I am printing the exception. System.out.println E. Any doubts in this program? Anybody having doubts?
Sir, what value will be printed at E, sir?
That exception name will be printed now. Wait, I will show you the output. Wait for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes, I will show the answer. I'll show it on next class. Here, actually, what will print is it may print the exception type. Okay, then followed by rest of the code. Rest of the code also will be printed. Here, that example is available here. The same example. We will show the answer here. Same example here. Class name try block. So data equal to 50 by 0. Okay. So here actually it may throw an exception. Then handling the exception, I am writing arithmetic exception E. Then system.out.println E. Then rest of the code. What will the answer here is java.lang.arithmetic exception. Okay, so it will display what type of exception it is. Okay, so java.lang.arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception is a class name that is available in the package, sub package, that is lang. So lang means language, then followed by main package. What is your main package name here is Java. So what is your exception here is java.lang.arithmetic exception. So divide by 0. So what type of error it is? It is a divide by 0 error. Okay. So the rest of the code will not be executed. Actually here, this rest of the code, after executing this catch block, what will happen is it will come to here, the system.out.println, then this code will execute. After executing the catch block, then it will come here and the rest of the code will also be executed. Understand, ma?
Sir, if catch block not there means it will not execute rest of the code, no sir?
Actually, if you are not executing catch block, what will happen is this rest of the code will not execute. The program will be terminated abnormally.
Okay.
Understand, ma? Suppose if you are writing the try block, if you are not writing the catch block means you may get error actually. The try block must be followed by either catch block or finally block. Understand, ma?
Yes, sir.
What will happen is your program will be terminated abnormally because I am not writing the catch block now. You have written the try block, but if you are not writing the catch block or finally block, then your exception will not be handled. Even though you are writing the code for exception, your exception will not be handled, and then you may get your program will be terminated abnormally. Next one we will see. Finally block. So already I told about catch block. Now we will see about finally block. What is meant by finally block? So what is the use of finally block is? It is a block that is used to execute important code such as closing connection and stream, etc. And the Java finally block is always executed whether exception is handled or not. Suppose if we have included the finally block, okay, even though the exception is handled or not, what will happen is it is always executed. Okay, that is finally block. Suppose for example, I have written a program that whatever statement that generate an exception that I am including in the try block, then I am writing the catch block to handle the exception, then I am writing the finally block. Suppose if there is an exception means then catch block will be executed. If there is no exception means it will come to the finally block. Okay, the catch block will not be executed. Only when the catch block will be executed is only when you have an exception. Okay, only when you have an exception, your catch block will be executed. Suppose if you don't have any exception in a program, then what will happen is it will not execute the catch block. It will come to the finally block, and whatever statement available in the finally block will be executed. Suppose if we have a exception is there in your try block, then catch block will be executed, then followed by finally block. The finally block will also be executed. Okay, this is about the finally block. Okay. So as I told, the Java finally block follows either try block or catch block. Okay. This is your flow chart for finally block. When your finally block will execute. Okay, here you have a program code. Assume that this is your try block. If there is an exception occurs, okay, then it will go to exception, whether it will handle an exception or not. Okay, which block will handle an exception? Can anyone say? Which block will handle a catch block? Okay, as you told, the catch block will handle an exception. So the catch block will handle an exception. Diagram visible, ma?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So as I told, initially what we are checking is we are checking whether the exception is occurred or not. If the exception occurred means it will go whether exception handled or not. Okay. Suppose if your program does not have any exception, okay, so then it will no means it will directly come to the finally block. Then finally block will be executed. Suppose if your program contains an exception means the exception will be handled by the catch block. Okay. Who will handle the catch block is it will be handled by the exception catch block. Here the exception will be handled by catch block. Okay. Here whatever code you want to check, you got to put it in the try block. Okay. So exception occurred or not. Where we will check the code is we are checking in the try block. Whenever you are getting an exception, it will be handled by the catch block. Okay. After handling an exception, again the finally block will be executed. Suppose the exception is not handled also, it will be then finally it will come to the finally block. Okay, that's why its name is finally. Okay, even though your program have an exception or does not have an exception, the finally block will always be executed. Okay, this is called as finally block. So we will see one example for all the three blocks. So here, what is my class name is test finally block, function try block, data equal to 25 divided by 5. Is there any exception here, ma?
No, sir.
No exception. Okay. So here, what will happen is 25 divided by 5. So 25 divided by 5 is 5. Answer is 5. So it will print the answer. So what is the data value here is 5. Okay. Then catch block. Okay. So in catch block, what is the exception I am writing here is I am writing the null pointer exception. Okay. So here I am writing null pointer exception followed by E. What is my exception object is E. Okay. Then I am printing the object. Then here I am writing the finally block. So finally block, what I have written is I am writing the message as finally block is always executed. Then rest of the code. After finally block, I have written the system.out.println rest of the code. Okay. What will be the answer here? 5 also will be printed. So here first 5 will be printed, then finally block is always executed will be printed, followed by rest of the code. Okay, here I think 5 is missing, so 5, then followed by finally block is always executed, then rest of the code. Whether catch block is executed or not here?
No, sir.
Executed, sir. No, sir.
No. Okay, here there is no exception. Okay, so here there is no exception, so your catch block will not be executed. So what will be the answer here is 5 will be printed, then followed by finally block is always executed, then followed by rest of the code. Okay, in case if I have like this 0, assume that can you tell what output now?
Arithmetic.
Yes, arithmetic exception actually. Have I written the code for arithmetic exception here?
No, sir.
No. So arithmetic exception I am not handling here. So what will happen is that error will be showed. Then here finally block will also be executed. So finally block is always executed. Then rest of the code. Okay. So actually in place of null pointer exception, what you got to do is here you got to mention it as arithmetic exception. So what you got to do is here you should mention it as arithmetic exception. Now what will happen is you may get an exception type. So whatever you are getting here, So now I will explain it. So as I told here, there is an arithmetic exception. So data equal to 25 divided by 0. Then what it is? Catch arithmetic exception E. Then system dot out dot println E. I am printing the exception name. Then finally block. Then rest of the code. So what will be the answer here is, you may get answer as whether data value will be printed here, whether the
No,
statement will execute or not.
No, sir.
So this statement will not be executed. Okay. So here itself, this line itself, you are getting an exception. So what will happen is this statement will not be executed. Okay. Directly it will come to the catch block. So it will come here, catch block, then arithmetic exception. What type of exception it is? It is an arithmetic exception. Then we are printing the exception name. So what is your exception name is java.lang.arithmetic exception divide by 0. It will display what type of exception it is. Okay. Java.lang.arithmetic exception divided by 0. Then finally block is always executed. So whatever code is available here, that code is executed here. Then followed by this statement will also be executed, rest of the code. Okay. As I told, even though there is exception or not exception, your finally block must always be executed. Okay. That's all about today's class. We have class only up to 2 p.m. We will download that. Anybody having doubts, man? So can you tell how many keywords are there for exception handling?
5, sir.
5. Can you tell the keywords?
Try, catch, throw, throws, finally, sir.
Catch,
These are the
thrown,
yes. Try, catch, throw, throws, and